What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to review Halo Episode 6. There's honestly, I wonder how long this video will be. I don't plan the lengths of these as I go in. I don't even know how much I have to say. This was a uneventful, uninspiring. I really could care less about this episode. This episode is actually kind of what I thought it was going to be. If you go back to the last episode or last week's review, you know, I praised it. I actually think last week's episode was by far the best episode of the entire series. Still think it now that we got, you know, another episode. But I did say my worry is they can't pull off high octane action. Not that I expect it every episode for the entirety of the episode. I get it. It's something the game can always have the advantage of over a movie, over a TV show, over anything. But to expect like just a little bit in a Halo show or Halo in general, right? You'd maybe expect a little bit. This was exactly what I thought. It was nothing. There was nothing really that happened. It was a filler episode to get to episode 7, which I imagine is also going to be a filler episode to get to episode 8. I mean, we're almost there. There's, I believe, 9 in the entire first season. So we got 3 more. You know, I expect the next episode probably to be a filler as well, and then 8 and 9 to be something substantial. There wasn't really a lot to talk about or to say I liked whatsoever. I guess what I can say is having Kwan in only as like a recreation in Chief's head, and she was in it for about 2.5 seconds. That was the best part of the episode that was by exclusion of her, it helped the episode. So while nothing really happened and I have nothing really good to say about this episode whatsoever, not having Kwan in it was the positive, because as we've gone over every week, I hate that character. I don't think it's a good character. I think they meant for her to be in the first episode, and then they made a mistake in the contract, and they said, oh, sir, you signed her to a 2-season deal that she has to be in all the episodes, and they're, oh shoot, right? I don't know. There was just, this episode was just a lot about putting players, in this case, characters, right, in their new places, right? So Miranda gets her new position. Halsey gets kind of kicked out. John continues to just be very, very mad. I was not a fan of Chief in this episode. I mean, based off what they've done with him, I get where he's at. Like, I think his motivations and his anger and you know, where he is with other characters that he's interacting with makes sense in the context of what's going on. But I feel like, again, and we've said it so many times, the idea of, you know, when he takes his helmet off and this just not being the Chief from the games and having to accept that from a certain angle, or you have to accept it for this TV show, but also not really accepting it as that's not really Master Chief. This episode, maybe more than any other, really drove that home for me, where it's like, I don't believe this is Master Chief at all. It's a character. It's a character that has the suit that Master Chief has the helmet. He talks too much. He's very emotional, you know what I mean? And it's just like, this isn't Master Chief. So I don't even know how I'm trying to get through something to you guys, and hopefully I'm doing an okay job at it. Probably not, though. You can let me know in the comments. I feel like out of all of these episodes, this was the least believable, and that's including Episode 1, where he takes his mask off over the most stupid circumstance. He never puts it back on. He has the entirety of Episode 2, you know, with the mask off, even in situations where he should have the mask on. And, you know, it's just so glaringly annoying. Even in that episode, I feel like he acted a little bit more like a Master Chief clone than this one. There's just nothing. The issue is, I don't care enough about any of these characters. So when you do more character piece episodes like this, Miranda is annoying. Halsey's okay. Halsey's like generally close to what you know, the idea of Halsey in the game. So I don't mind Halsey too much. I like her kind of edginess, the you know, deceptiveness, right, of her. I mean, I think all that's honestly fine. But like, Chief is just not, I was like, not like, he is interesting, I guess, but he's not really even supposed to be, you know, in a certain realm. So I just don't care to follow him through this very emotional journey that he's going through of having panic attacks and all this. I just don't care. The villain girl, I don't care. I think it, and I said this before, it's so blatantly obvious she's the enemy, and yet we're going to put her in a room and treat her, you know, great. We're going to take all these blood samples. We're going to be a little cautious of her. But then even like, I don't remember what the line was, but as soon as I heard it, I laughed. I literally laughed out loud. Chief says or somebody says, like, the situation out loud of, like, how it looks to, like, or no. Well, Chief said that, don't you find that it's weird that, you know, they take the artifact, they come up, they kill humans, you know, like nothing, like they don't have a problem with it, and then at the same time that they take the artifact and leave, you drop down, like, and it's like, well, okay, yes, that if that doesn't seem sketchy to you, you have a mental condition and you shouldn't be in a high-ranking military position here, right? So that was one thing. But then it was a girl taking her blood. The girl had said, like, something about a ship or something about, or was it Miranda that said it? Miranda was there, I think, because then she kept talking. But somebody had said, like, something was so similar with her situation, with another situation of when she destroyed that ship. Remember when she boarded the ship and she just killed everybody? She compared, like, her now to that, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry for your losses. And it's like, you just said it out loud. How hard is it for you to take that jump and say, oh, that was you. You did that to that shit. It's really not that difficult. And she was right. Whoever was saying that line was right there. And nobody really investigated it further. So the idea that they just kind of take this person and have really no problems taking this person is insanity to me. So I did not like that. Kai, I believe that's the one who, you know, dyed her hair. I really don't like her. I've never liked her. She was never really a Spartan to begin with, in my opinion. No, I get it. I understand the idea of, like, you know, Chief is obviously going through learning about humanity, that, you know, he's not what they kind of taught him to be, or, you know, there's more to it, right? He's going through that in his own way. He has Halsey to deal with. He has Cortana to deal with, all that kind of stuff. And then you just have this Kai who saw him butt naked in the bathrooms, and she's like, oh, we have a chip inside us, or, you know, I'll do it to me too. And then she, you know, and she just starts she's got this weird smile where she's just kind of like happy about everything. It's just, I don't like that character whatsoever. I think she's very annoying, not in the same way as Quan, but in a different kind of way. By the way, these are not subject to, like, just one. A lot of these characters are annoying. Miranda is annoying. Quan is annoying. Master Chief is annoying several times in this episode. In many episodes, a lot of them are annoying. I guess that's what I'm getting at. There was nothing to break up just the character piece that this episode was. And when so many of the characters are annoying, or I don't relate, or they're drifting further than they already were from being who they should be, in terms of, like, an equivalent, right? There's just nothing to satisfy me. So, you know, obviously I haven't had a high opinion of this show so far. That's not a surprise if you've watched the other 5 reviews, but that's my thoughts here. It wasn't like, I wasn't upset. Like, there's been episodes, specifically some, like, of the Quan moments, where I'm, like, mad. Where I'm like, I want to skip this out of pure anger. You guys have no idea what you're doing. I don't want to watch this. Things like that. This episode was more or less a lack of care. I didn't care what was going on. Some of the times I would, like, look. I try to, like, watch the whole thing. Some of the times I was looking down. Like, I wasn't engaged. Nothing about this episode was engaging. And that's different from being flat out miserably bad and focusing on the wrong things and having Quan and having all this stuff and, you know, just all the garbage they've pulled so far. So it is a little bit different. So if we're ranking episodes, I would put this towards the bottom, but I don't think I would put it all the way, because I do think I've been more visibly upset, you know, at the show during other episodes. So yeah, so here we go. 3 more episodes. Thank you. It's almost over. And then we get to take a long break, and then we get to do it again for season 2. So that should be fun. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I do these every single Thursday. Every other day we do, you know, a normal video on the channel, and I hope to see you guys there.